talk and see if we, about 5 years ago, I've been doing hair for 25 years. So I originated out of Michigan, and I can go through all my little background, but I originated out of Flint, Michigan, and I have got my license from there. And about 5 years ago, I got hurt. I hurt my knee because I taught a youth group at the YMCA. So I got hurt my knee, so it stopped my career in this path. So I had to have 3 surgeries, and I kind of didn't know what I was going to do with my life, because it's like I've done hair all my life, and now I have to figure something out. So in the interim of getting better, it took 2 years to recover. I had a lot of time to think. So one of my first jobs when I got back to working part-time was at EOPA, and I worked with senior citizens, so that I loved a lot. Didn't get paid a lot, but what I got from it was wonderful. It helped me to know at that moment that I was a people person, that I just didn't do good with teens, or I just didn't do good with elderly, that I just could do good with people. So that helped me to decide to go back to school and work on my counseling degree. And so last year I finished that. So this year I'll be studying to take my test, but I haven't had time because my time is very, 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 very small. So after the OPA, I got a job at Toledo Academy of Beauty as an instructor. So then I knew that that was my passion, that I could do hair as well as help young ladies be better. And so at Toledo Academy, I worked at Burn, and the one I Burn in Glendale. And so they always called us the Black School, because we were the school that did all the black hair in the city. And we were the school that had all the black students. And we were the school that was ghetto till I came. So when I came, some things needed to be changed, because a little bit too much flightiness going on, a little bit too much mouth, not enough learning. So of course I became the B. But that's okay. Sometimes you have to be that to be better. So our enrollment started going down, and so I didn't really realize that at that moment my boss was deciding to close the school and not tell anybody. So he just didn't take any more classes on. So at the end, when we closed right around December, he offered me the school. He said, you're a great instructor. You're great with the students. You help, change them. I'd like to offer you the school for $300,000. I said, what? Why am I supposed to get $300,000? Ain't nobody going to give me $300,000? So at that moment, I said, well, I guess I have to start this journey on my own. So I called the state board, and I did start filling out the paperwork. I had to write a business plan, which is very, very, very difficult to do, but it's necessary in any business. My manager's class that I teach right now, it is structured for every student to learn how to write a business plan, because it doesn't matter what business you're in. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know how to get there, you have no plan, you're going to fail, period. So and I have some wonderful students that graduated, got their license, worked with me from the beginning, who still work with me today. It's my right-hand man. Her name is Chantal Thomas. Right now she's running the school while I'm here. So, and I can trust that if I have to leave, that it will be done just like I would like for it to do. She is wonderful, and I hope that when we excel, she'll be the first person that I give greatness to, because she has been there through thick and thin. Whether I give her a nickel or not, she doesn't care. She just says, I see the big picture, and we're going to be blessed, and we'll be okay. So we have started this endeavor, and trust me, it is not easy. We had a lot of red tape. We're small, and I want to stay small, because it is my job to change lives, not just teach here. So in order to change lives, I have to know what I need to do to help you. So if I have 40 students, although I would know every one of them, I wouldn't be able to have the time to talk to each and every one. So my goal is to grow to maybe 20 students. And so we're halfway to that. And My difficulty among all of this is that we're in a process now of applying for financial aid, which is a whole nother ballpark. You know, you put yourself in a whole nother level, but it's going to cost us a lot of money to do it. And so my thing is preparation, and we've been preparing all year to start the process of applying for financial aid. My biggest thing is that most of my students that have came through and have graduated or are in school have went almost free. So mostly I just try to hold them responsible by making them pay a minimum amount, and sometimes that doesn't happen. And I've put out more students than I've kept because they don't want to do what's necessary to be successful. And in my life, that's the only way I go. It's a hard trail. Sometimes it makes hard decisions, but it has to be done. So today, part of me being here is to teach young people to be responsible, to accept your responsibility in whatever choices you've made. If you've created a situation that's been hard on you, you can still accomplish anything you want. It just requires a little more work. You're going to go around the path that God has created for you to get back on the path that He wants for you. So you have to be able to work hard. So I don't want to hear I don't have no ride, and it's a bus that's right out in front of your house. And if I come get you, then I go pick up students. But I'm making it too easy for you because then nobody pick me up. All right. So you got to find your way. Like you young people have to stop relying on other people to make their life successful. It is something that you have to do. Nobody gave me anything. I don't want nobody to think. I tell them now, like I had to really get on one of my stylists a couple weeks ago, and I said I'm not going to even argue with you. Just turn in your key. Because I'm doing something for you. You're not doing nothing for me. You're not going to come in my office and get fly with me. That's what's not going to happen. There you go. That's right. So you gotta respect your elders, respect the people that have given you gifts, and work with them. If they're willing to work with you and give you anything, then you should be willing to do what your due diligence and do what you're supposed to do. Most young people have two things to do: go to school and get good grades. That's it. What else you got? And clean up. Clean up behind yourself, please. Some teenagers have the ability to have to help their family financially, and they have to get a job. But it don't do nothing but make you stronger and better. Others don't. My daughter, she's fortunate enough to not have a job, and she asks me every day, can I go get a job? Well, when you going to work? Because you got to go to school, then you get out of school, you got about an hour to study, then you got basketball practice for 4 hours, then you got to come home and clean up. When do you have time to work? But the moment that your grades go below C, you need to get a job. That's when my job stops. And I mean that. She'll text me, Mom, I'm getting a bad grade in chemistry. I said to her, well, is everybody getting bad grades? Or just you? She said, no, the majority of the class getting bad grades. I said, well, I'm okay with that. Because that let me know the teacher ain't doing his job. And I'm going to have to deal with him. As long as you're doing your 150%, I'm okay with that. So that's the way I deal with education. It is very pertinent to get your education. That's right. That's right. I've been doing here for 25 years. It has been a vehicle to all of my glory. However, my education is very important. That's right. And what I do as a parent, my children follow. We can say a whole lot as parents, but if you don't do, that's what they watch. That's right. That's right. So I'm gonna start as soon as I take this test for my counseling, which I plan on taking off a month in March to study and take my test. But then I'm going to start my doctoral program in some kind of counseling or therapy, because it's important when I deal with young people to have the right words. Because I'm a little tough, just a little bit. And sometimes I want to make sure I'm saying the right words. So I first pray, because God, help my tongue some days. Yes. I'm telling you, I would not be here without Him. Because I can remember being a teenager having a whole lot to say. And I tell my daughter, who's 22, she got too much to say. But I have to think, like, well, I probably had a little bit, fly to if I got my own car, and I'm a nurse, and I'm making my own money. I probably have a little too much to say, too. But I tell her, you got to be humble, because everything God gave you, you take away. And so you have to learn that education is a vehicle to get you whatever education. It can be in the field of cosmetology. It can be in the field of barbering. It can be in the field of automotive. Education is going to get you to your freedom. Yeah. It's going to get you to a place where you can say, I can afford that. I can do that. I can take care of my children. We rely sometimes too much on others. And we got to look in the mirror and make some changes. So I say to my young people when they come to me, I had a young lady who came to me last week, and she is an esthetician, and I seen she had little kids, and she said, what I really want to do here, I went to esthetician school because it was a short program and I could get done, but it's really not what I love. And I said to her, how hard are you going to work? She said, I want to work real hard. I said, well, what's real hard to you? Because sometimes real hard to some people ain't what I say is real hard. And she said, well, I said, you willing to be here on time? Because I have a time issue with my students. She said, yes, ma'am. I said, do you have a way to get here? Because I have a vehicle issue with most of my students. She said, yes, ma'am. I said, are you willing to do 5 people in a day, 6 people, 10 people, whatever is necessary? She said, yes, ma'am. I said, then I'm going to let you go to school for free. And I tell my students, I'm the biggest giver, taker, backer it is going to be. And I have a student, she got a full scholarship. She wrote me a wonderful letter. I gave her a scholarship. All she had to do is pay her deposit. And first few months, she was on time, did what she was supposed to do. Then she started slacking and lacking, not coming, and walking in like you running something. And I said to her, we're going to have a meeting. I had a meeting with all of them. And I said, it's not, I don't tolerate, I can't understand for the life of me how I can give and give and give, and you just can't do what you're supposed to do. Right. So since you can't do what you're supposed to do, then that means I can take back whatever I gave. So now you're going to have to pay for your schooling, because what was once free ain't free no more. So I tell them, I'll give it to you, but I'll take it back the moment you don't do what you're supposed to do. And it's fair. It's fair. If I'm telling you, you just got to show up and do what you're supposed to do your work and get good grades, really, that shouldn't even be something I have to say. It should be something internal in you that wants to do that. Right? So it's difficult. It's just the challenge. And amongst African Americans, I always say, I don't understand how we have all of these things out here that we don't take advantage of. We don't. I have some students that go to the other schools because they want to get a refund check. And when I get financial aid, I don't know if I want to give a refund check. Because that's not why you're here. All right. And yes, you might be broke, but it's temporary. Yes, you might not be living or doing the best you want to do, but hard work will take you where you need to go. And sometimes you got to make a sacrifice. People say, well, Miss Sonya, you got a salon and a school, and Miss Sonya ain't got no money. Everything I got in my closet, pull it out, and say thank you, Jesus, for giving me that vision to pick that outfit out. Because at this point, I'm in a sacrifice. And so when I'm sacrificing and you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, I definitely got a problem. Because my sacrifice means that my children are sacrificing, that my husband is sacrificing. And so therefore, you're taking advantage of a system that was created for you to do wonderfully and marvelously, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So now I got an issue with you. Well, there you go. Because it's personal. Even though it's supposed to be business, it becomes personal when you're making sacrifices to make other people who are not your family pay. Right. So I say to young people, like, you got to have a vision. You got to start off with a vision. First, let's back up. You got to start off with a dream. Yes. And then you go to a vision. I put cards on everybody's table because I want young people to pick them up and write on them. On the front of it, I want you to put dreams. What are your dreams? And as adults, it don't matter where you are in life, you can still have dreams.
That's right.
Because dreams can become a vision that can become a reality with work. Even if your vision is for your children.
Yes.
So you must start off with a dream. You know, when I was younger, I said I wanted to be a doctor. Then when I had a child, when I was 21, I was in college. I said, no, I'm not, I can't go to school for no 7 more years. That's not going to work. I need money. So I asked my father when I was in high school, can I go to hair school? You know, they got the hair school programs in high school. They have it in Michigan too. And he said, no, you go to college. But what I teach my children is that it's okay to have a trade.
Yes.
Because it can be your guide through college. So when I got my license and I had my daughter, I went to Central State University, and I did hair a couple days a week because I couldn't let it affect my grades. And my parents, nobody never had to help me. That was my job. I didn't have to go off campus. I did everybody here. So you have to think of the big picture. How do I get through school to get where I'm going? My oldest daughter, she does wonderful with grades. She's a nurse, and I want my children to have their own dreams and aspirations, right? So I never said, you need to go. She always say, Mama, why you won't let me go to hair school? Because I'll be to slap the hell out of you. And it's not, you can't, you can't. So, no, I tell her, you can go to somebody else's school, and then you can I have to keep my composure, stand up straight, because I just can't do it. Your mouth too fly. I already have to jack you up at home. I don't want to have to jack you up in front of everybody else. So I know my limits. So on our card, let's put dreams. What are your dreams? And then you can fold it in half, or you can turn it over the back and put what is the vehicle to get you to those dreams? Because we can have all kinds of dreams. But if you don't have a path to get there, then you're already in trouble. So what are your dreams? So when I was younger, I always wanted to do hair. I always loved hair. So I went with that. And then when I got that in order, then I went back to college and I finished. It is okay to have multiple dreams, multiple ideas about who you are. It's okay for that. You don't have to be just a hairstylist. You could be a hairstylist that's a nurse. You could be a hairstylist that owns a business. You could be a hairstylist that's a doctor. You could be a hairstylist that's a cop. You don't have to just have one dream.
That's right.
But you have to do the work to fulfill them one at a time.
That's it.
Okay? So, on our dreams, little kids. If you ask a little kid, what you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a teacher. I want to be a nurse. I want to be a... You better have a dream. And you better be solid in it. I asked my youngest daughter, she's 16, and she is wonderful. She got 3.5. She's been on varsity basketball team at Start High School for 4 years. She's the only junior on her team to have started every single game and have had the blessing not to be hurt in any of those games. She struggled with some injuries in the summer, but not during the school year. And she has about 30 schools looking at her. Right. And when you're young, you be like, oh, I'm the bomb. I got 30 schools looking at me. You said the right word, looking. They need to be giving you something. Right? So that means you got to still work. Because I tell her all the time. She say, Mom, I want this kind of car. Well, you better get you a good job so you can pay for it.
There you go.
You're going to have this little piece of car to get you to A and B. So I don't got to take it. Right? So my goal for her is, I said, I hope that God blesses me for my business to flourish and I'll finish paying my car off, because I'll give it to you when you graduate, if you get a scholarship.
All right.
If you don't get a scholarship, you're going to be driving that piece of car and hope it gets you to that whatever school you're going to. Because that's the trade-off. You do good, I reward you. You do bad, I reward you. So you gotta have dreams. So she wants to be a nurse, like her sister maybe, you know. My oldest daughter went through some trials and tribulations when she was very young. She had scoliosis, and she had to have back surgery her senior year, and then she had to have another surgery the year after to remove the bars because she got an infection down to her bone. So I truly believe that her nurse that she had when she was in ICU was a young girl. She was probably in her early 20s, and she was wonderful. And I believe that's why my daughter chose to be a nursing, because that girl fed her soul enough to make her want to do the same thing for somebody else. So I see her, and she's growing, and she's worked in a dialysis center. She just went to a home health place because she wanted to go into part-time because she went back for her RN. And so I don't have to preach to them about education because they know it's important in my house. It's the only vehicle to get where you need to be at. And I tell her when she was young, honey, you need a good job or you're gonna be a crackhead because you like too much nice stuff and I ain't gonna be the one paying for it. So you better get yourself a good job. And she did very early. I'm not gonna be paying for you to look good. I pay for you to get through school, and it's your job to pay for you to look good. So it's necessary that you understand that as a parent, we only owe you 18 years. Anything else is a bonus. Bonus. Okay, so you have to understand as young people, it is your job to take whatever you learn. And believe it or not, parents, children know right from wrong by the time they're 5.
Oh, yes.
So if we've been a lackadaisical parent and didn't teach them the right things, you're going to have a long journey in front of you.
Amen.
And some of us have. Me included, my oldest is very spoiled. I had her at 21. And nobody knew an answer for her. So as she got older, I just was like, no, I'm not doing it. And she just, if she could have a temper tantrum at 18, she probably would. You know, but eventually she learned that no, it's going to be what it is.
There you go.
You can't have everything unless you provide it.
That's right.
It's not a bad thing to say no. Sometimes you just got to say no.
No. Don't spell it.
And I'm a giving person. I be so tired sometimes because I don't know how to say no. So today, we have our grand opening for my salon. So I opened a salon, and I used to own more than one salon when I was younger. And Patrice is one of my good friends, and she worked for me. And it is very hard to own a salon. It's very hard to own an African-American salon because you fire more people than you hire.
Oh, yeah. Tell it.
You like, I just want to work for the weekend because I'm going out, girl, and I just need to get this outfit.
Tell it.
But your boyfriend do.
Yeah. Yeah.
The electric company don't care that you're going out. So I said when I closed the doors, if I'm going to pay $1,500 or whatever it is to keep the door open, I got to have people that work with me. And if I got to do it by myself, then it's no need for me to have a salon. So when I closed my salon, I just said I probably wouldn't open another salon until God has a path for all of us, and we don't know what it is, So when I opened my school, and my first set of students was wonderful. I mean, they did their thing. They got in there. I had one of my gentlemen. He works in my salon. His name's Armand. He finished a 13-month program in 9 months.
Wow.
Yep. And I have some natural hair stylists. We have the first natural hair styling program in the city of Toledo, and the second one in the state. It's only 2 in the state of Ohio. And so we have had 7 licensed natural hair stylists. So with me having so many wonderful people come through, I said, well, I'm gonna open your own salon. Why not y'all stay together and pay me, then go pay somebody else? At least I love you and I mean well and I want everything for you. So that's how we open our salon. We have 8. I have 7 stylists and 2 nail techs, and I have 2 more spaces that I'm considering turning into a barber for barbers, so it'll be a full service salon. But all of my students except one were my students. They all are licensed. They all are doing wonderful. And I'm just proud of them. I go over there once a week, and I have to go over there and be mother hen and like I said, I had to have one, had to get with her. She got a little attitude, and she's working on it. When you see young people recognize that they have issues, you want to work with them, you know. And a lot of our issues as an adult, as young adults, come from when we were very little. Very little. Whether it's abandonment, being raped, somebody taking something from us, it will fester in you and come out negatively as an adult. Sometimes we look at some of these young people who, you know, one of my stylists I was going to bring with me, but I decided not to because Saturday is an important day for a stylist, and so I want them to make their money. So I told her, that's okay, I'll tell you a story. But her name is Myra, and she is wonderful. She's one of my natural hairstylists. She has 3 kids, 3 different fathers. When she was younger, she was molested. She lost her mom at an early age. And she just was broken when she came to me. You know, she just felt like nobody loved her, you know. And I told her, the first place that you got to start is within. You got to love yourself enough to know that you are valuable to yourself and to your children. Because your brokenness is going to make your children have brokenness. And the reason why you have 3 different fathers is because you're looking for love in the wrong places. And every time you thought that he loved you, then you gave him a baby and he went. And now you get to take care of it. So at the time that she came to school, she just had got out of the shelter and they helped her find a place. And she caught the bus to school. She became a bus aide for her daughter's school so that she can get on the other side of town because she lives on the north. And our school is on Heather Downs. And she was there every single day. We stayed up until 10 o'clock at night. She was there at 10 o'clock. She probably finished her program in like 4 months. And she's in a barbershop and she's doing amazing. And, you know, to see her post, like, you know, who goes to work 5 out of 7 days and sometimes know you're not going to make no money? Somebody who won't. That's what you got to do. Because next year you'll be saying, I got so much money, I don't know what to do with myself. Because sometimes you got to put the time in order to get, just like you got to plant the seeds in order to get that tree to grow. You have to do it. It's called sacrifice. You have to make it. And children didn't ask to be here. So you got to be the role model for them. You have to be. They didn't choose you. You chose them. So as parents, we have to be in the vehicle to be the right decision maker for our children. What we do shows them what to do. What we don't do shows them what not to do. So my goal today is to make everybody just have some light bulb moments, as Oprah says, she's my favorite, is to just to look, reflect on ourselves, to know that we're not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. I will be the first and the last person to say I'm perfect. But I try to make good decisions. I try very hard to make good decisions and to do God's work. And God's work says sometimes you're not to be seen. You're just supposed to have action. You got to work hard and you got to put yourself out there so that everybody knows that you have a good heart. And so therefore, they will value that. And when people come in my life, I just ask God that whoever is not in my life for the right reasons, please let them be seen. So I can remove them. Because I'm not that one that's going to, I mean, I might get you a little trouble, but I ain't going to tell you off and fight and do all that. I don't need to do that. Because God going to fight my battle. So I pray every day, daily, that he puts the right people in my life so that we have the right vehicle to go forward. You know, everything that looks good on paper is sometimes not always the way it is. But if you keep working hard, it will be exactly what you want it to be. And that's my goal, is to keep working hard. And sometimes it requires sleepless nights. Sometimes it requires, you know, you don't get to go buy new clothes and new shoes. And you got to do what you got to do. But when I get to buy it, I'm not going to apologize for it. Because I worked hard to get it. And that's what life is about. It's nothing in life worth having that's not going to be worth working hard for.
Right.
You have to work hard.
Amen.
Unless your parents is millionaires. And they still have to work hard because they get themselves in too much trouble. Because when you got idle time, you do some things you probably don't have no good decision making. So we need to know that dreams is going to be our vehicle to success. And when you write your dreams on your paper, how do you plan on accomplishing them? If it's just one dream, if somebody's dream is to get through high school, I have students right now that have not had their high school diploma, and I'm the only school in the city that will take them. But my goal is that you must get your high school diploma as you're getting your college degree. You must. So I had one that got her high school diploma a few weeks ago, and I know that she's had a tough life. And I told her, you making it seem like it's just peaches. But I'm telling you, you did a wonderful thing. Because a lot of people in her family haven't graduated from high school. So that's all she knows. But it's pertinent. You can't move forward without your high school degree. It's pertinent. So if you, I don't care if it's a GED, I don't care if it's the high school diploma, it doesn't matter. You need to get it. You need to get it. Because that's your vehicle to, okay, what's my next step? What's my next step to accomplish my dream? If my dream is to be a hairstylist, what's my next step? After I get out of school, do I do nothing? No, you got to prepare for your test. You have to go to Columbus and take a test. It's not that Miss Sonya just said you're so good. My word don't mean nothing. You got to study. You got to put it in the work. Then once you get that, then what? Are you going to be stagnant? You accomplish your dream. Do you have another dream? I tell my girls, some of them want to own salons. Tell them I want you to own a salon, but I want you to know the truth. It ain't easy. You're going to be broke. So you better ask your man or your husband if he willing to fork the way before you run and open you a salon. Because statistics say it's a good write-off. But if you don't have a salon with 20 people in it, with low overhead, you ain't making no money. And I had to tell her, my stylist the other day, you think because y'all in there working, I'm making a whole bunch of money, you better think twice. I open that salon for y'all, and it is paying itself. It ain't paying me. So you need to understand why y'all cahooting and trying to get your own stuff. You better be ready for it. You ain't got to sneak and do nothing. I'll tell you all the truths. But you better be ready to hear them. So that's what I say. You have to go back to your dreams. And I know some of my stylists are amazing. Their dreams is to own their own place. But make sure it's correct. And make sure you do it when it's God's time, not when it's your time. Because you do something before God wants you to do it, it ain't going to work. You're going to fail. And failure is good because it's learning lessons. So at any time, don't let failure be something that makes you afraid. I had 2 salons I failed at. That's how I know it's not easy. But I learned from it. And if you do not learn from your mistakes, young or old, you're going to do it again. And again. And again. Until you say, oh, I touched that was hot. I ain't doing it no more. So I say that it's okay, young people, to make mistakes. As long as you learn from every mistake that you make. And use it as a vessel to accomplish your goals and doing it the right direction. And on the way, help somebody. Don't be selfish. Young people is the most selfish culture I ever seen. You got a room full of toys, but you don't want to get nobody in. Got a closet full of clothes that you can't fit no more, but that's my favorite pair of pants. When you know somebody in your school, don't have them. And you can put them to the side and say, hey, I got some things that I'll give you if you accept them. And if they don't have pride, they will say, absolutely. Because you dressed the barn, girl, so I need that. Be giving. Because when you give, you get.
Amen.
When you give, you get. If you remember that, it will take you a long way. So I'm not going to hold y'all. I appreciate just being here, because when she asked me to speak, I said, you want who to speak? What you want me to say? I just like doing hair, you know what I mean? I love it. I love teaching my young people. I love giving them lessons, and I love being hard on them. That's my job. That's what God created me to do. And for a long time, I didn't know what God created me to do, because you go to school, you do what you're supposed to do, and then don't just fall in place because it ain't your time. You just got to keep on hitting the trail, keep on working hard, and God will bless you. He will bless you abundantly. So in that, I say thank God, and thank you for having me, and y'all have a blessed day.